Hello YouTube, Big Terry here with Golden Oaks Worm Company, and today we are going to do an update on our mealworm farm. Now in our last video we discovered that some of our mealworms were actually superworms that needed to be individually that needed to be basically separated from one another in order to move on to the next stage and pupate so that they can start their metamorphosis. And today we have them in our second drawer, so we're going to take a quick look at them. And as you can see, we have quite a few that have pupated from mealworm to their second form. You have quite a few that are darker, which will mean that they will be starting to transform into beetles very soon, probably within the next day or two. But to our surprise, we actually found one that actually made the transformation. Right under here, we have our very first Mealworm Super Worm beetle, darkling beetle. And you can see his light brown color still, so he's still very new. He'll be getting darker as the days go along. But so far, he's the first one that we have found that has pupated from the pupa stage to the actual darkling beetle. Now, I'm not quite sure whether this is the male or a female, but hopefully there'll be more that'll be transforming very soon, and they will start making mealworm babies, start laying eggs. So we're going to give this one a little bit of moisture. Gonna give him, so he's got plenty of food, but we gotta give him a moisture source. So we're gonna give him a piece of baby carrot, and we will check back on him in a few days, along with the other companions, to see if any more have made the transformation. And we will check on our A team as well, because they are actually doing some very big things as well. So we'll be right back, and we'll get back to you in just a moment. We get some moisture in here for this darkling beetle, and we'll check back on the other mealworms. I think you might be next. So here we're gonna leave some carrot as a moisture source for our beetle, who's found his way into the corner there. So we're gonna leave him a carrot as a source of moisture, and we'll leave a couple pieces here so that other beetles can find it. And it looks like he's already heading straight for it, making a beeline. That's for you, little guy. Drink up. He'll find it later. He got plenty of food, and now he's got his moisture source. Looks like he's on the hunt for a mate. He's still got to wait a little while. More to come. But let's take a look on our other mealworms. So if you guys remember, initially we had this top drawer that was full of mealworms, and it still is full of mealworms. But as you can see, there's quite a few pupa in here, and we've been day by day slowly taking some of these pupa out and moving them to the bottom tray to turn into beetles. So this was our initial group that we got from Uncle Jim's worm farm, and as they have been producing a lot of pupae. If you take a look under one of their houses here, you can see quite a few of them. They like the toilet paper rolls to hide under. Let's check under here as well. You can see quite a few more. And the carrots have been lasting them a little longer now that a lot of them have pupated. So they're not consuming as many carrots on a daily basis. So yeah, so we started with this one tray, And we've been pulling pupa out of here and putting them in the bottom tray. So let's take a look at our bottom tray, which is our pupa and mealworm beetle tray, which you see all these pupa, as well as some full-grown beetles. We have quite a few of our regular size beetles here. And they've been, here's one munching on the carrot. There's quite a few here in the corner. And darkling beetles. And the lighter color ones are the newer ones. And the ones that have a little bit of darker color, they've been around for a couple of days now. So they are definitely getting busy, getting to work, and hopefully very soon they will start mating and producing eggs and baby mealworms for us. I got a little hidden house here in the back. Let me see if I can pull it out here. It's got quite a few beetles, darkling beetles in here. Yeah. See, you got quite a few darkling beetles right inside the house, and they are socializing and getting to know each other. As well as you can see the dark ones there. They've been more mature. Been around a little longer, so they've got their dark color back. They got quite a few dark ones underneath here as well. So very soon they'll start mating, producing eggs for us, and we'll have the cycle all over again. Oh, we got it flipped over. Let me see if I can help them real quick. Come on. Oh. There you go. Try to help my people as they go. So it looks like we have one that's just coming out of its pupa stage right now. Pretty exciting. And a brand new beetle being born as we speak. They have plenty of food and moisture sources. And we'll be refreshing the carrots here again in another day or so for that moisture. So things, the mealworm farm is going well, guys. Remember, now this bottom tray started with nothing but oatmeal. And we had no pupa, no beetles, or nothing. Now look at just about a week later, here we got all these pupa. And several beetles as well. And they are socializing and getting to know one another. And like I said, hopefully they will start producing some eggs real soon. So we'll check back in with you guys in about a week or so, see how these guys are doing. And hopefully we'll have more beetles to show, and more super beetles especially, to give our buddy up here needs a companion. Super worms. Okay guys, we'll be back shortly. Okay guys, so about a week has passed and we are going to take a look at the progress of our beetles and see how they're progressing. Let's start here in the top tray. As we can see, a good portion of our mealworms still remain. There's still quite a few pupa that I have to move to the bottom tray. It's more and more every day. But they are getting to be a little less and less in this top tray as they transform into pupa. And if we take a look under the houses, we usually can find quite a big group underneath those, snacking on some carrots. So I got to clean up this top tray a bit. As you can see, there are a lot of dead carcasses here that need to be removed. You see, so underneath here we have quite a few mealworms, and as the weeks progress and they start to transform, the carrots in the top tray last a little bit longer, as there's less mealworms to actually eat them. And then the ones in the lower tray start to go a little bit faster as the beetles tend to accumulate. So let's take a look at our superworm drawer and see how those darkling beetles are getting along. I think on the last clip we only had one that had actually transformed, but now if we look here in the little house, we can see quite a few. And these are our superworm beetles. Now, they don't always have a successful time transforming. As you can see there, the one on the left there is a little deformed with his shell. Sometimes they don't come out quite right. See, the same thing happened to that one. They have a tough time hatching, some of them. It still seems like they are able to survive the hatching process, even though they are sometimes injured. And we can see quite a few beetles here underneath. That darker one is probably one of the first ones to hatch. As you see, they turn black as they get older. So they are socializing and hopefully mating and be laying some eggs soon. And we have more and more pupa that are still have not transformed just yet. But as the weeks go by, we get fewer and fewer pupa and more darkling beetles. I want to see if I can grab one of the regular mealworm beetles to show you guys a size comparison of the difference between the regular mealworms and the superworm beetles. So let's take a look at our lower tray. This is where we have been putting our regular mealworms. And as you can see, they are spreading like gangbusters. All these pupa that have yet to transform came from our top mealworm tray. And let's take a look under the houses here. As you can see, there are quite a few beetles underneath here as well. The lighter ones are some of the newer ones. The darker ones are the older ones. There are quite a few. And let's take a look at their little house here where they've been congregating and socializing. Look at all those beetles. So they are getting along like gangbusters. And hopefully they will be mating and depositing some eggs here in our lower tray. And as they die off, the new baby mealworms should start to hatch and grow. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to chop up some of these oats. I've also, what I've done also is I finally was able to get some wheat bran. So we might be changing their feeding formula from the rolled oats to wheat bran once I make sure it's sanitized and doesn't have any wheat mites in it. And we might be switching it to that. So as the babies get born, they will not be able to eat these large grains of oats. So they're gonna need something finer and in order to eat. So we're gonna put some wheat bran in here and maybe some finely ground oats as well so that they can eat the smaller food. So let's see if we can grab one of these darkling beetles here and do a size comparison of our regular mealworm beetle to a superworm beetle. So we got one here. And let's see if we can grab a superworm beetle. Let me put y'all down for just a moment. Okay, so as you can see here on the black one here, is our superworm. Come here. They're actually pretty fast. Black one there is our superworm, and the little one here is a regular mealworm beetle. So as you can see, they're quite a bit bigger in size to a standard mealworm beetle. So that is one of the differences between regular mealworms and the superworms that we accidentally picked up from Pet Sense, found out that started breeding. So in a few weeks, we should start seeing some eggs, not eggs, but babies being born. What we'll start to notice as more and more of these adults mate and die off, there'll be fewer and fewer of them in this container, and also more and more babies. And we'll start to see the substrate here move as the babies are born, which may take a few weeks or it could be a few months. We don't know the timeline just yet, but we are still experimenting and learning as we go. So eventually what we're gonna have to do is once all these pupa have transformed into beetles, we're gonna have to move them to a new tray. And then this will be the nursery for the babies. And then we start the process all over again. So this bottom tray will become the new mealworm tray, basically a copy of the top tray. Once all these beetles transform, they'll be moved to the lower tray. The grown beetles will be moved to a new tray, and then the babies that are born on here will be moved up to the top tray, and we start the process all over again. So things are progressing quite well with our mealworms. As you can see, the regular ones, they're multiplying like crazy. I think we started with 2,000 mealworms, and now we have all these pupa, not including the ones in the top tray that I haven't moved yet. And we still have all of these that could potentially pupate into mealworm beetles or darkening beetles as well. So our mealworm farm is growing along quite well. On a final note, my other mealworm kit finally arrived from China, and I did not realize how small this kit actually was. But it's one of those 3-layer mealworm kits. Got this off of Amazon, of course, not sponsored, but there will be a link in the description. Although with this particular shipper, that comes from mainland China, it did take a lot longer to arrive than I expected. But there are multiple different shippers that sell similar kits. But I'll link the one that I got this one from in the description. But I didn't realize how small it was as a comparison to the first mealworm kit we got. Let me show you guys the size difference here. So this was the first kit that we brought. And this was the other kit. I just didn't realize how small this thing actually was. So what we've done here is we just put a few pupa in the top. I don't know if you guys can see that. Just a few pupa in the top to turn into beetles. So we can see on a smaller scale just exactly how they breed. So once these pupa hatch, they'll start breeding, and the eggs are supposed to fall into this lower tray here as they lay them, and then as the eggs develop, they become baby mealworms, and as they shed their skin, the skin and their frass is supposed to seep down to the lower tray, which we can use as fertilizer for our garden while the mealworms develop. And then once they pupate, you can turn them into darkling beetles once again, move them to the top tray, and start the process all over again. So it goes like a round robin. So this top kit here is basically a very small version of what we have down here. But we are keeping track of both on a big, large and small scale. Hopefully for documenting purposes, it will be more helpful. And as you can see here, some of my tools that I use to sort and strain the mealworm kits. These I got off of Amazon as well, also not sponsored, but they help me basically sort pupa and frass and carcasses from the trays. And these are ones that I 3D printed that have different size meshes as well. So you can see several of my scoops. So basically these were supposed to be mealworm kits too that you can 3D print, but they also have different size meshes for sorting. So I use a combination of all of these in order to help sort my mealworms, which is one of the things that I'm going to have to do today. Start going through this and removing some of the dead carcasses and rotating pupa. So guys, our mealworms are doing quite well. Things are progressing along, and these guys are going to end up being treats for my quail, as another source of protein and food for them, as well as my new pet toad, Humphrey Bogart, who exclusively has been eating mealworms. Hopefully I can find him a female and have some tadpoles going as well, but we'll see. I don't know if he's even a male. I don't even know if he's a male or a female, but hopefully I can find a couple more toads and maybe start having some baby toads as well. But we'll see how things go. So that is all for now, guys. If you're enjoying this content, please remember to hit that like button, as well as subscribe. Comment below and tell me how you guys are enjoying the videos and what else you would like to see on the channel. And please share this with others. We want this channel to grow and get our subscriber base going. So until next time, this is Big Terry with Golden Oaks Worm Company and Golden Oaks Quail Hatchery. We'll see you next time. Signing off.